Good morning. Where's summer gone, hey? Summer lasted for about 2 weeks as usual. I'm sure it'll come back. It better come back because I absolutely hate this. Yesterday it literally didn't stop raining the entire day. So I barely left the house. I think I went to the gym at, what time did I go to the gym yesterday? 5 o'clock in the morning. And then the only other time I left the house was to go and pick Louis up, and that was driving. So yeah, not much outside time yesterday. Steps had to get done on the walk pad, which I can do. I would much prefer to be outside. It's meant to be pretty miserable for the whole day today. I think it's actually meant to be pretty miserable for a little while to come. So I'm just trying to get outside now while there's a little gap. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get before it does start to rain. So trying to get this video recorded without the camera getting soaked. But yeah, it's been a good start to this week. So another new low on the scales this morning. So actually seeing things come down a reasonable bit over the past couple of days. So what did I weigh in on Monday at 155.6. Yesterday 154.4, and then today 153.8. So almost 2 pounds off in the last couple of days. Leanest yet. Looking pretty good for it. I will pop up the pictures once I've done those tomorrow, because I'll check in with Christian in the morning. So I'll pop those ones up just so you can have a little look, see where we're at this stage, see what's going to go on. And otherwise, yeah, just a fairly decent week. Back in the gym tomorrow and Friday this week. Hopefully I'll be able to get in there, and hopefully that silly little nonsense that was happening with actually getting access and having to like reserve a time. Sorry about that noise. They're doing the, you won't be able to see them because this is going to focus on my face. They're doing the, there he is, look, cutting the grass. They're actually really good at that around here. They keep on top of things really, really well when it comes to like all the communal spaces. But yeah, back in the gym Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday is probably going to be a little bit of a crazy weekend, trying to get as much prepped and sorted and ready as we can, because we do then head back to England on Thursday. So I need to get the roof box on the car, probably start to have a think about getting stuff packed. Yeah, just making sure that everything is ready to go so that we're not absolutely rushing and panicking last minute. Oh, the car also goes in for its MOT tomorrow, so hopefully that does pass that, because otherwise that's going to be a bit of a rush to try and get whatever repairs need doing and get it retested before we head off, because otherwise the MOT will expire whilst we're away. And we don't want that, because that's probably going to mean that we'll be driving around illegally. So yeah, busy end to this week. It's going to be busy next week getting all sorted. Everything else though, going pretty swimmingly. The blitzers are there. The blitzers are into the middle of their first week. Absolutely smashing it by all accounts, loving it. Lots of interaction going on, which is really, really cool to see. But yeah, I'm just going to get this walk done. Like I say, try and get this done without getting soaking wet. I think it might even have started to spot with rain now, actually. So the umbrella's going to come out in a minute. Get this done and then get cracking. What is up, guys? I thought I would take you through a little bit of a, I guess, sort of full day of eating on a non-training day at a little under 2 weeks out from my photo shoot. So I know people love to know what everyone's eating on these things. So here we go. So I have what I've already had this morning for meal number 1 is basically I air fried a load of vegetables, onions, mushrooms, a little bit of carrot, pepper, chilies. Air fried all of those, got those nice and crisp, and then I served those with a little bit of chicken, a little bit of ham, 1 whole egg, and a couple of egg whites. So that was meal number 1, which unfortunately I didn't manage to film because such is life. What I'm just doing for at the moment is just getting a few things prepped and ready for the next couple of days when it comes to my lunches. So what I've got over here is, let me just take this face track off. What I've got over here, turn this one round, got a couple of pans of pasta, cooking in there. So that's just 50 grams of pasta. It might help if I turned that one on. 50 grams of pasta. And that's my lunches for the next couple of days. That is the alarm going off to tell me that one of those is ready. Yeah, 50 grams of pasta going in for a couple of meals on there. And then what I'm doing at the moment is just getting my lunch for today ready. I just want to make sure that I'm as prepped and prepared as possible, because when the day gets a bit manic, I like to just know that I've got everything sorted. So with those 50 grams of pasta that are going to be my next 2 training day lunches, what I will also do shortly is I'll air fry some chicken breast. So there'll be about 175 grams of chicken breast with each of those. So it'll be 50 grams dry weight of pasta, 175 grams of chicken breast, and then what I'll do with those is make a nice big salad and just have lots and lots of salad in those as well. And that'll be lunches for the next 2 training days. But yeah, lunch today, as I say. So let me just turn this face track off. What we can do here, what you'll see in the air fryer there, I've got 180 grams of potatoes. I've got a little bit of courgette has gone into there, just chopping an onion to go in. I'm going to put some broccoli just to bulk things out a little bit. These kind of things are your best friends. I also quite like the broccoli stem. I know some of you are probably going to look at me like I'm an absolute nutcase, but the broccoli stem is actually really good, especially when it's air fried. So we'll get the onions and the broccoli in there as well. A little bit of pepper. So we'll just pop that in there. Again, that sort of char grilled peppery taste. A chili pepper, because I love a bit of spice. And then I'm also just going to pop a few little carrots in. Again, these will pad things out a touch. Let me just chop that nasty bit off there. It will just pad things out a fraction. You know, when food is starting to get low, it's quite nice to have these kind of things that just add a bit of bulk to proceedings. I'll also have some chicken that will go in there as well. So we'll get everything. And this is another thing that I like to do. Let me just bring this back up again. So another thing that I really like to do when it comes to like food, simplicity of food, this is just such an easy meal, because basically it just all goes in the air fryer. So it goes in the air fryer with a little bit of herbs and spices. I'll show you those in a moment. And then it just does its thing. You know, there's absolutely no faffing around. Like, I can just turn that on, I can leave it to do its job, and then it's done. You know, and it's just ready to go for when I need to come down and eat it. So the little spices that I'm going to pop in there. What have we got in here today? I'm going to put a little bit of this, which is cayenne pepper and paprika. Essentially, that is all that's going to go in there. If I can get into this as well, pop that in there just to give that a bit of flavour. And then we will also just spray on a little bit of these 1 cal sprays. Again, we don't want to be using loads and loads of calories and getting these absolutely caked in oil, but a little bit of a squirt of that can go in. Let me just turn that pasta off because that one's done. And then, as I say, that will just go in the air fryer. Super, super simple, really quick and easy lunch. And that will be meal number 2 on this full day of eating. Good morning, Thursday morning, bright and early, 4:30 start today. I'll be honest, I would normally have got up about 10 to 5, but I got up at 4:30 because 4:30 because I wasn't actually sure whether I was going to be able to get into this gym, given the issues that I had with the other gym the other day. This one didn't actually have it didn't even have the option to do the reservation thing. And I wasn't really sure why that was. I didn't know if that was an error on the gym's part, whether I was going to get there and not be able to get in. But it looks like that particular gym just doesn't require you to. So I really don't know why the other one does. But anyway, that seems to be the gist of things around here. Things get done that don't really make a huge amount of sense. But anyway, got in the gym, had a really, really good push session. And then I did also take a few pictures in the gym post-workout. Christian wanted me to send him over some pictures in the gym post-workout. I'm always a little bit hesitant just because that gym, you know, I've been told off for far worse things than stripping down and taking pictures of myself. So I'm always a little bit nervous about doing that kind of stuff in there. But I took myself off into the little studio. No one was in that little studio, so it was just me in there, and no one came in and told me off. So what I'll probably do is just pop I took a little video as well, so I'll pop that little video and the pictures up. They're not the greatest pictures just because it was in that studio and the lighting's a little bit funky. And I also felt slightly self-conscious doing it just because it's not something that I ordinarily do. And as I say, like a little bit of nervousness around not wanting someone to come and tell me off and, you know, give me any kind of warning and potentially revoke my membership for taking my top off in the gym, which I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen. So yeah, I'll pop those ones up. But a little jump back up on the scales this morning. I know I've mentioned these kind of things before, like they will happen. You know, I'd gone from, so Tuesday I was at 154.4, which was a new low. Yesterday 153.8, which was another new low. And then this morning that's hopped back up to 155.2. But you know, those are going to be, you know, changes in water, inflammation, food in my gut, that kind of thing that just naturally happens. So I'm not worried about it. The pictures and the video that I took fasted, which I will have already popped into yesterday's video, just even though I took them this morning, I've just added those in there just because I was talking about them then. I'm pretty happy with those ones. Yeah, just these particular post-workout shots. And it's not even, I'm not happy with them. Like the look in the gym whilst I was training felt great, you know, felt pumped, felt big, felt, you know, I was going to say, I mean, as full as you can when you're not eating much and you're training, having not eaten for 10, 12 hours overnight. But yeah, feel good. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think you have to sometimes put these things into perspective as well. Like I'm not gonna be stepping in front of that camera, you know, having not eaten for 24 hours flat. There'll be a decent bit of food going into me. There'll be the fullness there. You know, that's why we're taking the pictures and stuff at different times. It's why we're taking them fasted, because it generally gives you the best idea of where the physique is at in reality, and it's the most comparable. But then also taking some after certain numbers of meals, after training, when you've got a bit of a pump, because that's the time that you're going to be stepping in front of the camera, or, you know, stepping on stage if that was the goal. It is that pumped, posed, you know, look that we're looking to sort of bring the best of. So yeah, as I say, you'll have seen those pictures and videos. And we are now at, what day did I say it was? Thursday. So less than 2 weeks away. We are 12 days. Yeah, 12 days until the shoot. It's a week today that we travel back to the UK. So just trying to, again, make sure that everything's as sort of up to date and pre-planned as it possibly can be. Making sure all the client work that needs doing is as up to date as it can be. Trying to get as much social media done as possible so that, you know, all of that is all there to go as well, and yeah, it's just going to be a little bit more of, I guess, like the general lifestyle stuff, which I know a lot of people actually find pretty interesting. And Sometimes I'm not the best at sharing, so hopefully I'll get a little bit more of that kind of stuff. But yeah, on the way home, it is 20 to 7 in the morning. I probably wouldn't expect Lara and Louis to be up just yet, but they should be up by 7 o'clock. Usually if Louis is not having to get woken up because I'm taking Lara to the station, 6:45, 7 o'clock, somewhere in then is his fairly typical wake up. But then it's a bit of a manic one because we need to get everyone sorted. We need to get Louis dropped at the childminders, and then the car needs to get dropped at the garage for its MOT. Well, I say MOT, it's actually called a CT here, a control technique, which actually happens once every 2 years in France. So I think I mentioned that earlier in the week, but in England, it's every year. France, it's every other year. Fingers crossed that is gonna sail through no issues at all, because the last thing that we want, oh, you fucking moron. The last thing we want is to have to take it back to the garage to get any kind of work done when we're almost heading back to England. There's a fire engine coming up behind me. Let me just move out to the side and let that through. Oh, it's all go this morning. It's all go this morning. Not even 7 o'clock in the morning, and we've got people pulling out in front of me. We've got fire engines giving it the old blues and twos. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, car's going for its MOT. So fingers crossed that sails through, no issues at all. So yeah, I'll drop that off. It doesn't take very long, so I'll probably just try and go for a walk whilst that's at the garage. Get some steps in, pick the car up, get back home, crack on with the day, and then it's another public holiday here tomorrow. Not that it really means a huge amount for me, but I'll try and take a little bit of time to spend with the Lara and Louis situation. Whew, busy times. Good morning, Friday morning, 4:30 a.m. start today, and it's another public holiday here in France, which means a little bit more juggling for me to do. Oh, and how nice. There's a bird shit on the car while I've been in the gym. You've got to love that, haven't you? Yeah, 4:30 start this morning because, just because it's a public holiday. Public holidays don't mean a huge amount to me. I still work. The only thing they actually tend to do for me is make life slightly more complicated, because they mean I have to try and juggle many balls. Yeah, so have to try and get the gym done, get work done, think about spending some time with the family. Everything gets a little bit more complicated for me on a public holiday, but yeah, we do what we do. I know a lot of people will. The gym was a lot quieter today, so I've got some more post-workout pictures, videos that I will pop up of me posing. Because Chris Brown's released his new album today, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I managed to get some slightly better pictures and videos this morning because the gym was a lot quieter. I think because it's the public holiday, a lot of people have probably got the day off, which means those people that ordinarily would, what is this lorry doing? Parked right in the middle of the road. Ordinarily, the people that would have been there at, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, because they'd need to get in and out before they go to work. Those people probably aren't there quite as early if they're not having to go to work. So yeah, I was there 4:30. Well, I woke up at 4:30, which means I get there about 4:45. Just me and the cleaner. It's quite a common occurrence actually that me and the cleaner are the only ones in there. Certainly initially, I think the next person that arrived maybe, I don't know, 5:15. Another guy that I see in that gym quite frequently. But yeah, I've got the little post-workout posing pics and video there, so have a little look at those. I'm not 100% sure what our plans are today. I know it's going to be fairly full on. Louis is not the childminder, Lara's not at work, but we've got quite a lot that we still need to get done before we head off to England. So various things that need organising. At some point this weekend, I need to put the roof box on the car. We need to think about packing so that we're not doing that last minute. You know, the usual stuff that needs doing when you're about to head off for a fairly decent length of time as well. We're, you know, 2.5 weeks that we're going to be away for, which is a decent length of time. Making sure that we're getting packed. I need to think about, actually, one of my clients, a client who's done a photo shoot with me before, he actually said to me in his check-in this week, like, what are you doing in terms of like outfits and stuff? Have you thought about it? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Haven't even thought about it. I just literally haven't had time for my brain to even comprehend like what I'm going to do from the point of view of actually like how I'm going to show up. It's in a gym, and it's in a gym that's going to be open. Like it's a private gym. It's like a nice small private gym, and I suspect at the time that I'm going to be going that it's going to be pretty quiet in there. So I don't think there's going to be any like major issues when it comes to, you know, being able to just strip down to as little clothing as I want to. From that point of view, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So it's not like I necessarily need to think, right, well, I'm in a gym that's going to be open at the time, therefore I need to make sure that I'm not stripped right down to me undercrackers. You know, that'll be absolutely fine. They don't mind at all, and as long as I'm just respectful of the other members in terms of, you know, my photographer not getting them in shot or just politely asking them if they're okay with it, all of that will be absolutely fine. I think that the members in there are going to be quite used to seeing that sort of stuff because, you know, the owners of that gym, they're bodybuilders, they're lifters themselves. Like I've seen them in there stripped down to their undies, tanned and oiled up. So yeah, it won't be a major problem. But it does mean I probably need to have a little bit more of a think about potential outfits, because like I say, I really haven't given that much thought at all. So that's something that I've got a few days to consider. I don't really want to be leaving it much later than this, just because by the time we're actually on the road, we don't really have time to do anything before I know it, the shoot's going to be there. So yeah, but new low on the scales again this morning, 153.4, which actually puts me basically at the same weight that I was for my last shoot, but I am definitely a lot leaner. So a very, very good sign that, you know, a decent bit of muscle's gone on, a good few pounds of muscle gone on since the last one. And obviously that's without, you know, that's with me running pretty flat at the moment. So by the time I've gone through the process of filling out, getting a good pump on, it's going to be a good one. So on our way back, it's 6:30 in the morning. I, again, very much doubt anyone will be awake at home, especially because they don't have to be, because nobody's got to be anywhere. So I'll get in, I'll get everything sorted, and then get myself ready to crack on with my day. I think it's due to be quite a nice one as well. We were earlier in the week, the forecast was pretty terrible for the rest of the week, and it wasn't looking that great right up until we went to England actually. But yesterday was really nice. It probably got up into the 20s, bright blue skies, and I think today's meant to be fairly similar. So hopefully, well, I will get out for a walk because I'm going to need to. I'm going to need to make sure I get my steps in for the day. And yeah, if it is nice, and hopefully we can all get out as a family somewhere at some point as well. Whew, busy. Sunday morning session is done. Last full leg session before the shoot as well. Tough one. Although saying that, decent bit of progress made. Again, I'm not a big believer in allowing the situation to get the better of me. So it would have been very easy for me to, you know, to be looking at it and thinking, oh fucking hell, you know, I'm just over a week out from photo shoot. My body fat levels are low, my energy levels are low. It's, you know, I was up at, what time did I get up? 20 to 5 this morning on a Sunday morning. Yeah, I could have been making all of those excuses, but that is not the way that I like to operate. So the early leg session has been completed. Oh, the cardio has been done, and it is not quite 7 o'clock in the morning. So we are on our way back home. I'll post another little video. I did manage to get a few more posing shots. Definitely starting to feel very, very grainy indeed. Lots more detail and definition coming out. I do feel extremely flat, very, very normal again. At this stage, food isn't very high. Expenditure is pretty high. Generally, yeah, just the flatness is there, but you know, the definition is there and the fat loss has happened. So it's a very good sign, basically, to know that at the point that we fill things out and the food does go in next week, that, you know, everything is going to very much start to come together. So come on, mate. Dawdling about. Come on, dickhead. Yeah, so everything's looking good to get shoot ready. As I say, last full leg session, I'm going to do a little bit of like leg top up work on Wednesday. This week's training is actually slightly adapted from what it ordinarily would be. So ordinarily, having trained legs today, I would do delts and arms tomorrow. I would do back and hamstrings Tuesday, and then I'd go back to push on Wednesday. We travel on Thursday. Pull would have been Friday, and then the shoot was coming up. But Christian's just done a little bit of adaptation just to make sure that we're there. So it'll be push tomorrow, pull tomorrow, lower top up on Wednesday, travel on Thursday, a bit of a push pump style session on Friday, a little bit of a pull pump style session on Saturday. Sunday and Monday will then be rest days, and the shoot will be on the Tuesday. So yeah, it's closing in now. We're getting towards those final preparation stages. Lots to be thinking about, lots to be doing, lots to be getting ready this week, because we are driving across on Thursday. I've still got lots of work to be doing Monday through Wednesday, knowing that Thursday is going to be tough to do too much at all whilst we're in the car. But yeah, I'm closing in. I can't wait to get a tan. That was something I did notice this morning when I was doing the posing in the gym. I definitely need a tan, and it's amazing how much difference even just having a tan will make to how you look. Just, you know, will look like much more like shadowing and shading will start to come in. And I am particularly pasty at the moment. Haven't had the opportunity to get a huge amount of sun. My face and arms have got a little bit as we've had some nice weather recently, but it's not like I've been sunbathing or out walking around with my top off. So yeah, the tan will come. That's all booked in for the Monday. At some point whilst we're back in England, probably on the Saturday, I'll also have to try and get a haircut. All of those preparational bits. Trying to get as organised as we can. Oh, and the car's going back in to get a couple of bits of repair work done on Tuesday as well. Nothing major, but things that are pointed out at the MOT. It passed its MOT, but just a few little minor points that just need sorting out. The garage, very, very good with us. They're a really nice garage. It's where we always take the car to get repairs done. You know, they said it's nothing major, like it's not dangerous. You could absolutely go back to England and get them done when you come back. But they said if you want to get them done before, we can fit you in before you go. So we just said, you know what, let's just get it done. One less thing to worry about. So yeah, car's going in Tuesday. Lara's in the office tomorrow, so I'll be at the gym at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning to get that session done before she goes, because I'll then need to be back nice and early to get sorted, showered, get Louie up and drop her at the station. But I'm not sure what we're up to today. The forecast was actually pretty wet, but right now it doesn't look too bad. A few more clouds in the sky than there were yesterday, but it's not actually raining at the moment, so we'll see. I know Lara wants to go swimming, so she'll try and do that fairly early, and then we'll just see how Louis is, because he's been quite tired of late. I think he's maybe still trying to get over the little illness that he had. Was it last weekend? I think it was last weekend. And also just trying to make sure that he is well rested and that he's not picking up anything else before we go away, because we don't want that either. So anyway, I'm pulling back in at home. Back soon. feels good to finally get outside. I was just sat there thinking, actually, I don't think I think this is the first time I've come outside in 48 hours. I think we were out on Saturday morning, and then by the time we got home, it was the afternoon. We popped out for a bit Saturday, sort of late afternoon. And then other than going to the gym, which is literally driving to the gym, being in the gym, getting back in the car and coming home, I haven't really been outside. Sunday was horrible. It was pissing down all day. So we didn't actually leave the house other than me going to the gym early. Yeah, it was very much a home-based day. And this morning has just been super, super busy. So I was at the gym at 4 o'clock this morning because Lara's in the office. And then from getting Louis dropped off at the childminders, it has just been a solid day, probably a good solid 6 or 7 hours of just check-ins, blitzers. Week 1, everyone absolutely smashing it, which is always awesome to see. Really, really cool to be getting those guys going, plus all of my usual full-timers. So it's been a busy morning of check-ins, busy day of check-ins. But I love it. And finally, the rain has stopped. So in actual fact, it's been quite good timing because it was pissing down all morning as well. So now the rain stopped, I can get out for a little bit of fresh air, get some steps in, and then get the rest of the bits that I need to done today before I go and pick Louis up. So a little bit of an update as to where we're at this week. So another £1.50 off on average. So this means that I'm at the lowest average that I've had. My weight had hopped up a little bit today. I can't even remember. That's where we're at the moment. The scales are largely unimportant at this stage, to be completely honest. The look is the thing that we're very much focused on, and the look is very much there. I'm going to pop some more pictures that I took in the gym this morning. The physique is looking in a really, really, really good spot right now. So I'm happy with where things are at. Christian is happy as well. He's been looking at me much more frequently. Obviously, the formal check-in with him will happen tomorrow. And then from there, we'll move on to daily WhatsApp check-ins. So pictures, etc. will happen every single day, which is going to be a little bit tricky to manage just because we're traveling from Thursday. But I'll do my best to make sure that does happen, even if it means the pictures are slightly inconsistent just because we're going to be in different locations. But Christian's aware of that. He knows the deal. And then I'm also hoping that I'll go and see him on Saturday evening because we're going to be staying not too far away. So it'll be good to see him on the Saturday evening. He can have a good look in person, and then whatever changes that he feels like need to be implemented, ready for me to get in front of that camera next Tuesday, he can make. But yeah, I'll send you I'll pop up the usual pictures, usual check-in pictures and stuff tomorrow once Christian's got back to me. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy a bit of outdoors time because, as I say, it's been a pretty manic old morning. So I'll catch up with you all tomorrow. Good morning, and we are back. Christian has got back to me, as I mentioned yesterday, so we are now going to daily check-ins. Everything is very much where we need it to be. Like I'm very much ready. There aren't really any changes to be made as such. It's now just a case of making sure that we do everything necessary to turn up on the day with the best look. So the next few training sessions are a little bit different. So tomorrow's is more of a lower top-up session. So just a couple of sets of adductors, couple of sets of hamstring curls, a couple of sets of leg extensions, a single set of leg press, and a little bit of calf work. And then that is also going to be paired with the high day. So an extra 200 grams of carbs going into my normal training day. That'll be tomorrow. And then Thursday, so tomorrow's Wednesday at the time of recording this. Thursday will be the day that we travel. So that'll be a rest day, and that'll be very much rest day, calories and macros. All of that food will be taken with us to travel with. Friday is then going to be a push pump session. Saturday is a pull pump session. Christian will keep me updated as we go day to day. So my intention is to just give little updates each day. Once I've checked in with Christian, once he's got back to me with what needs to be done, and I'll try and keep you guys as updated as possible as we build up to the shoot. The one thing I have got to navigate, which I don't mind, it's so when we get to England, one of the things that we are doing is going to see Lara's brother. It's his and his wife's 40th birthdays this week, and everyone is planning on going out for a bite to eat on Saturday, but I won't be eating. I'm quite happy with that. I mean, in terms of just, I know what I need to do. It's a few days before a photo shoot. Eating restaurant food really isn't going to be the best thing that I can do, so I don't mind too much. But yeah, again, all of those I'll keep everyone sort of posted and up to date on how everything is going in that regard. But yeah, I'll pop the pictures up. You can obviously have a little look. Some really good post-workout shots again today. And yeah, daily check-ins. So I will be much more regular with that update.